It's true. If you struggle with any shot in tennis, you need to find a coach. You can't do it alone. And I've been struggling with my backhand for years. It has been a source of huge frustration, and I was scouring the internet, and I finally found a guy, a coach who I think can help me. Tom, how you doing?
Good, man. That's a lot of pressure, a privilege. I really hope I can help.
Yeah, so we got Tom from TPA Tennis. I love his work. If you're not already following his channel, go ahead and like and subscribe him at TPA Tennis. And we're gonna dive in right now. He's gonna help me with my two-handed backhand.
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm getting ready to take a lesson from Tom. And I don't take lessons from coaches unless I really think they might be able to work with me and help me. I've got a lot of ideas about my backhand, but I actually think Tom can help me pull it together. So we're just gonna start warming up right now, and you're gonna see how I struggle with my backhand. I'm just gonna kind of commentate on it.
All right, man. Show me what you got.
So one of the things I notice on my backhand is I just feel constricted. I don't get away from the ball when I swing. And a lot of times, it's just I have inconsistent hits. Now, the camera's on me right now, so I'm gonna be concentrating and making sure I get under the ball, but it just could be so much better. And I'm hoping that Tom can help me out. It just feels like I almost like pull off the ball. I don't get my hands through. So what I feel happens is, first of all, I can't really decide what type of backswing I should have. So like if I look at Djokovic, he closes the backswing like this, and I kind of like that. But then when we start doing live ball, I feel like it's more like it's a little more like that kind of take it straight back, a la Marcelo Rios, or even a little bit like Hewitt. So my backswing feels off. Then when I go to swing, I don't feel it when I hit the ball, but when I watch on video, I see this knee rotate early. So I see this happen early. So it's almost like my hips go early.
Yeah, it's funny you point to the knee. I see it as the hips, and I do the same thing where I'm turning the hips quite early, and that kind of blocks the shot here.
It does, which is strange because everyone in tennis is saying, you know, rotate the hips, use the hips. And the way I've experienced my best backhands is it almost feels like I stay sideways longer. And then when I see it on video, it looks more like Nadal. And that's actually when I see the hands release when I stay here. But I feel like my body goes there. Yeah. And then now the hands are gonna slow down. That's what I experience.
Yeah, and I think, you know, when I'm looking at a play, I'm trying to figure out what they're going to struggle with. To me, it looks like you're not going to hit the high ball that great.
Definitely.
And you're not going to hit it that great if you're running a lot.
And I'm not going to hit it well if it's coming slow.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, and if it's coming slow.
It's trying to generate power.
No, yeah, generate power. Like in that sequence when you were hitting me, the ball was low and it was coming to me, so I felt pretty good.
It's interesting. I grew up in England and I played on indoor carpet.
Yeah.
Well, indoor courts are fast anyway.
Yeah.
Outdoor AstroTurf, so everything's low and fast, and you just feel like you're just there.
Yep.
But then as soon as it gets up high, that contact point no longer works. You have to be playing it more at the side of you. And also if you start running around and you're trying to play a shot from out wide, it becomes a little difficult. And if you're playing in a fast environment, you're from Colorado.
Same thing.
So you got high altitude.
Same issue.
You don't have to generate a lot of power.
Right.
When I'm playing indoors on carpet, I don't have to generate much.
Right.
So I can almost have a block kind of swing.
Yep.
Instead of one where you're actually accelerating the racket, swinging around your body a little bit.
But the other thing is, I've seen videos is of the pros, is a lot of them, you know, their hands are like this. And I'm literally like gripping this thing like this. And so I just don't think there's enough play. There's enough play, and I don't understand like how to drop and kind of let the racket go. Yeah, I'm kind of muscling it.
Yeah, I feel like this similar thing I have on my backhand, which is I tend to do a lot of shots like I'm holding anything, an umbrella, like just holding something, right? Like I don't hold things like this. But when you see the pros, this hand gets a little bit more like this as opposed to you having the death grip.
So what's really cool about that, and I think, again, I've been on the slinger bag and the ball machine, and when I focus on kind of feeling my hands, I hit my best backhand. So maybe that's just the simple cue. When I'm teaching the serve, I talk about this thing called ulnar deviation. And so I know this is a little off topic, but I think it's related to what we're talking about, is I see so many people coming up on the serve and their rackets like this. and I have them do this right here. And so that's the same
Okay.
concept right there.
Okay.
So I know that people that struggle with their serve, they look like this when they come up instead of like that. And so I think I'm this guy. You know, I'm the guy that comes at the ball like this instead of like that.
That makes sense. Makes sense. I'm going to show you something. The way I see this shot, and it's the same for a forehand and a serve, is you have the kinetic chain that goes body, arm, racket, body, arm, racket into the shot, and racket, arm, body after the shot, right? Okay. So it's going to make everyone worse. Everyone's going to get super confused. But we'll simplify it as we go. So when you take it back, you got body, arm, racket, right? When you go into the shot, you have body, arm, racket. But then after contact, you have racket, arm, body.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the kinetic chain. It's the same. We spoke about golf. It's the same. You take it back with the body, the arm, the club, body, arm, club, club, arm, body. Right?
Okay.
So it's the same with this backhand here. And if we just, maybe you can even cancel out the first one, just kind of get everything back here.
Yeah.
And then you go body, arm, racket, racket, arm, body. Right? And I think what we tend to do is we kind of come in and block everything all at once.
Right.
If you see the best backhands in the world, they have their racket and arms going through the shot, and then the body follows.
Right.
Whereas I think we over-rotate the body.
Yeah.
First.
So when I was working with players, I would see them block and open, and a lot of times I would just tell them stay sideways longer and just feel your hands go.
Yeah.
Do you think it's as simple as that?
Yeah, I think it is, and as I say, you see it on the golf swing where the best players are like this, and then everything catches up, and the worst players are, everything comes through as one piece. Same with this backhand. Just feel like as we hit these next few, you're able to stay sideways, the racket leads the way, and then the body follows.
And I think what's really helpful too, and I talked about at the beginning of this video, is that I can go out and do that on my own, but there's sometimes a seed of doubt. Did I do it right? So someone like you who teaches this way, sees the game this way, you could probably validate to me like that's the one. Yeah. I mean, obviously I need to give myself that feedback, but I think it's helpful. Then once I get the feeling today, I can go back now and feel more confident that I'm doing the right thing.
The difficulty you have, and I'm going through the exact same thing. I'm honestly trying to do all the changes you're doing because I'm here, I'm too far in front, I'm over-rotated. I tend to have that follow-through, that short arm, and I don't get that extension. For me, personally, I'm trying to get that Andy Murray sort of extension where the racket's pointing down the court. You've kind of talked about it being a little more closed, kind of like Nadal, maybe because you do probably hold the racket a little further around the back than I do, I think. And what I was just going to say is the hardest thing about it, and I think it's for anyone who's trying to change their stroke, is changing the contact point, because you're gonna be going from this to this.
Got it. So hit it to the side of my body.
Yeah, and this is in a straight line. Like often when I see you hit, this racket's kind of going this way, and you're in front.
And you know what's crazy is what have coaches always told you or me to do?
Ball in front.
Get the ball in front.
And
I actually have told people on the court, I've said hit the ball to the side of your body.
Yeah.
So I'm going at the ball like there or there.
Yeah.
And I need to actually almost, for me, I need to almost feel like I'm hitting the ball behind me.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to feel.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to feel late. Yeah. Because I want to be here.
I think just your arms will be a little bent though.
Yeah.
Yeah, your arms will be a little bent. You're going to have to feel a little bit late.
So more sideways, catch the ball later, and maybe feel like I'm pointing more.
Yeah. And maybe that's the sensation as we go out. Relax your left hand. Feel like the contact points at the side. Yeah. And feel like the racket just leads the way through the hit.
Awesome. So one of the things with me, I do really well when I kind of focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So I might dance between, we need to dance between, do I focus on this? Do I focus on being later?
See if you can actually think about the kinetic chain of having the racket overtake the body.
Okay.
Which is a bit more of like a sensation than hitting a specific position. But let the arms just, oh, that looked good.
What do you see? Do you think
How's it feel for you? What are you,
I mean,
what
it
are you
feels
experiencing there?
It feels pretty good. You know, I remember when you said kind of hit it around the road. I was trying to feel like I'm hitting it like I'm just sideways, but then at the end I really feel kind of my hands kind of releasing at the end.
Yeah, imagine the racket's really heavy, and after, remember, it's racket, arms, body, and just feel like you don't feel like you're sideways throughout the entire thing.
Okay.
You know, once your arms pass, just relax your body and rotate your shoulders. You did look a little sideways, you know.
Oh, I was over exaggerating?
Yeah, that's cool though. That's okay. That looks good. Swing.
Okay.
Swing the racket.
That
Better.
one felt good.
That's better. I think earlier when you asked me about the wrist movement, you probably don't want too much. It's almost like you're slapping that thing.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? You kind of flick your wrists at it a little bit. Just swing your arms.
Okay.
Yeah, swing your arms. The racket will be there. That's good. It does look a lot. It does look a lot better.
Okay.
It does.
I just smoothed it out in the last three.
Yeah.
I almost just swung slower.
Exactly. Feel the arms being relaxed, the racket swinging, but just don't let it go. It's not like you're trying to throw the racket over the net.
Okay.
And Jeff, see if you can get a bit more topspin without getting too wristy with it.
That was going to be my next question: is how do I get topspin on this?
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's give it a go first, and then we'll talk about it. Yeah, I think the issue you have is when you get more topspinny, because obviously at any given time, I can say, hey, Jeff, get more topspin on this. You're going to be able to get more topspin on it. But you do it in a very sort of loose, wristy way. So even the finish there looks almost like you're almost letting go.
Right.
And then if you're in a match or we start taking that level up a little bit, it's going to be a bit too loose.
Sure.
Like I can almost see on the end of the shot, you're almost...
I'm feeling this in order to... Again, it comes back to when I stay sideways, I don't know what to do if I bring it around, like what to do with my hands.
I feel like you can almost just kind of relax it, but in a way of not being too relaxed with the hands.
Can I see it again? At the very end. Yep.
I mean, I always thought about that Andre Agassi finish where you just kind of you don't let the arms or the racket touch you.
Okay.
You know, collapse on you.
Yeah. I teach either to go, you know, Lansdorp in front like this, or you want to just rest it on your shoulder at the end.
Yeah, and I think maybe you could just try and have it a bit tighter than that, because I do feel like you're kind of collapsing a little bit. And I worry that it's not that real.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm feeding from the basket, and you can just kind of like relax and get all loose. You start playing a match, and you want to be a little bit more compact.
Got it.
You want to feel like you can still get your topspin, still be at the side, but you're not just letting go of the swing.
Sure.
It's interesting, actually. This thing you're using here, if you look at the ads that they have online, it's more for exercise, and they go like this to, you know, it's a strength training thing.
Right.
And it's almost like how we don't want the backhand to go where everything comes here. You want to feel like you use the weight of it, and it's not an exercise tool because it feels light.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's you want to make it feel lighter, not heavier.
Right. And now this racket feels like it's it weighs an ounce.
Keep it at the side of you. Get your topspin by just swinging up on the ball simply, and don't get too loose.
Got it.
Yep.
I opened. So you liked how those looked?
Yeah.
All right. I got the feel of that.
All right, here we go.
Just got to get a little top.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, felt that.
Yeah. Oh, I opened.
It's good though. I mean, it's
ones
ticking
before were
all
good.
those boxes. It's not too loose. You get in the spin. You're swinging the racket.
Spin.
I like the spin without being loose, Jeff. That's good. Looks good.
I'm a little more firm at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's helping. There it is.
It's good.
That one I got under.
Nice. I like it.
What I like about what we just did was that it comes back to simplifying it, like that last sequence right there. If I had a reference of being there, it kind of is going to fix this thing. So if I can just get my hands to there and then finish the swing after, I think it can get me there. My big takeaway was that also I really only can focus on one thing at a time. So as soon as I think of, let's say I think of staying sideways and I get this piece down, but then maybe I'm flipping,
Yeah.
it's too difficult for me to go sideways and don't flip. So it's almost like I have to just pick one thing to get really good at. Then 5 minutes later, I can bounce to the next thing.
Now that I've had a little time to reflect on our coaching session, watched a couple of the videos, I just want to add some final thoughts. And I think it's going to help you to continue to improve your backhand and help people to understand my coaching philosophy a little bit more. So obviously we spoke about a lot of things, kind of looked at it on a big scale, and you wanted it to be boiled down into just one thing, because as you said, focusing on multiple things at the same time is pretty challenging, and I agree with that. So I know in the past you've focused on the hands dropping. We spoke about getting this finish, or this halfway through the shot, sorry, and then the finish over your shoulder. It becomes difficult if you're thinking about multiple different positions. But what I think you can do is to start thinking about the shot in terms of actions and sensations. And that gives you one thing to focus on, but gives you a lot more sort of bang for your buck. So for example, when I'm watching your backhand, I'm seeing you pull and get a little bit tight. You can see the tension in the shoulders. You're focusing on dropping the hands quite a bit and some of the other things we focused on. But if you can just try and get the sensation, as I pointed out in the video, of just swinging the racket, right? That's just one thought, but that action, that changes from what I would consider your stroke to be a bit of a pull into the shot to a swing. Like just that difference in sensations and the action of pulling, almost like you're doing tug of war where you're pulling a rope. That's kind of what I see your backhand being like, and you're trying to drop the wrist while you do that. If you can change that sensation into swinging the racket, I think a lot of those things that you're looking for will get fixed. So for example, I used that club the other day, but you could take something like this. Imagine doing it with a net post. All right, imagine swinging something even heavier than this. Imagine doing this with the net post, where as you take it back, you can keep your hands low like you mentioned, but you take it back and then you let the weight of this tube or the net post, just let it swing. All right. Now look what happens. You start to drop the hands here. You know, some of these things that would happen or you're looking to happen throughout your motion will probably happen if you can just get that nice smooth swing. All right, man, so absolute pleasure to work with you. I hope this really helps. I hope we can continue to work with each other, and I'll talk to you soon.
Go ahead and let me know what you think of this lesson. If it's going to help your technique, leave a comment below. Let me know if you think it's going to help your technique. We are passionate about helping you with online tennis instruction that's going to get you to the next level. And before you go today, I want to make sure that you get this free gift. You see, there are 3 mistakes on the forehand that most players are making, And all you have to do is click somewhere in this video or underneath in the description. We're gonna help you transform your forehand. That's what we're passionate about doing here at Tennis Evolution. Go ahead and click the link somewhere in this video or underneath in the description. I had a blast making this video for you today, and we'll see you at the next one.